There's a quiet kind of pain that comes from the small battles we fight every day. The moment you spill your coffee right before leaving for work. The driver who cuts you off and ruins your mood. That heavy silence at dinner because someone you love said something careless. None of these things are dramatic enough to make headlines, but they chip away at you, slowly, quietly, every single day. And here's the truth most people miss. It's not the big storms that break us. It's the drizzle that never stops. But what if I told you that every irritation, every delay, every small disappointment can become a form of training? That life, in its messy, unpredictable way, is actually building your strength, if you learn how to see it that way. That's what Stoicism teaches. Not how to escape hardship, but how to use it. How to turn frustration into patience, rejection into self-respect, and loss into understanding. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When I first read that line in my 40s, I didn't really understand it. Now, at 60, after losing friends, careers, and illusions, I realize it's not poetry, it's survival. Because life doesn't wait for your permission to test you. It doesn't care if you're tired or ready or in the right headspace. But if you approach those tests like a Stoic, every day becomes a small gym for the soul. I've met men and women in their 50s and 60s who say, "I wish I had learned this earlier." The truth is, you're not late. The training never ends. Every moment you stay calm instead of angry, kind instead of bitter, focused instead of lost. That's strength being built, quietly, invisibly, like roots growing under the soil. So, in this video, we're going to talk about how to transform everyday struggles into real, grounded strength. Not with lofty words or empty motivation, but with tools you can use today to reclaim your peace, your focus, and your sense of inner control. Because Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about being unshakable. It's about walking through the noise of life with the calm certainty that no matter what happens, you can handle it. If you've ever felt worn down by the little things, if you've ever wondered how to stay centered when everything seems to go wrong, stay with me till the end of this video. By the time we're done, you'll see that nothing in your life is wasted. Not the waiting, not the worry, not even the mistakes. Everything, when seen through the Stoic lens, becomes part of your strength. In the next part, we'll talk about the first Stoic shift, how to stop reacting to what happens and start using it. Because the moment you change how you see your struggles begin to change you. One of the hardest lessons in life is realizing how little control we truly have. You can't control what people say about you. You can't control the traffic, the weather, or the market. And sometimes, you can't even control your own thoughts the way you wish you could. But what you can control, what the Stoics devoted their entire lives to mastering, is how you respond. Epictetus said it plainly. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You've heard that quote before, I'm sure. But have you ever really practiced it in the middle of a bad day? I remember a man I used to counsel years ago. Let's call him John. He was 58, a proud father, a quiet worker. But he had a short fuse. When things didn't go his way, anger lit up in him like dry grass catching fire. The smallest things, his wife forgetting something at the store, a coworker missing a deadline, would set him off. One day, he came to me after a big argument with his son. He said, "I hate that I can't stop myself when I get angry. I don't want to be this way anymore." I told him something simple. You don't need to stop the anger. You just need to stop obeying it. That's the first Stoic shift. You stop reacting, and you start responding. You pause, you breathe, you give yourself a moment between stimulus and response. That small gap, that second of silence, is where your freedom lives. Marcus Aurelius called this the inner citadel. It's that quiet space inside you that no one else can reach, no matter how chaotic the world becomes. In that space, you decide who you want to be. When someone insults you, you can react and give them control over your peace. Or you can respond with calm, with dignity, and keep your power where it belongs, with you. The world teaches us to defend, to prove, to fight back immediately. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. It says, don't let others dictate the temperature of your soul. So here's a practice I often give to my students. Simple, but powerful. The next time something irritates you, don't speak for 5 seconds. Count them slowly in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In that silence, you'll feel the storm rise. But if you stay still, it will pass. And when you finally speak, it won't be the anger talking. It will be your reason. I once read a study that said most emotional reactions last less than 90 seconds if we don't feed them with more thoughts. That's it. 90 seconds. You can endure 90 seconds of discomfort to protect your peace. The Stoics weren't superhuman. They got angry, sad, frustrated, just like us. But they practiced the art of distance. They refused to let emotions drive the chariot of their life. Because when you master that pause, when you learn to hold your reaction in your hand and look at it before releasing it, you start living from strength, not impulse. And that, my friend, is where transformation begins. In the next part, we'll go deeper. We'll talk about how to turn obstacles, the very things that frustrate you, into fuel for growth. Because life isn't trying to stop you, it's trying to shape you. And once you understand that, even hardship starts to look like a gift. Every person, at some point, faces a wall. Sometimes it's a failed business. Sometimes it's a health diagnosis. Sometimes it's simply waking up one day and realizing your life didn't turn out the way you planned. That wall feels like the end. But to a Stoic, it's the beginning. Marcus Aurelius said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Most people read that and nod politely. But those who've lived through loss, who've buried a dream or a marriage or a version of themselves, they understand it differently. Let me tell you about Maria. She was 62 when she lost her husband. They'd been together for 35 years. For months, she told me she couldn't find a reason to get out of bed. One day, during one of our sessions, I asked her, "What would your husband want you to do now?" She looked at me for a long time and said quietly, "He'd want me to keep living." That day, she started walking every morning. At first, just 10 minutes around the block. Then longer. Then she joined a small book club. Then a volunteer group. And slowly she built a life again, not despite her loss, but through it. That's the Stoic path. Not denial, not false positivity, but transformation through acceptance. We don't get to choose the obstacles, but we get to choose what they mean. A flat tire can mean a ruined day, or a reminder to slow down. A layoff can mean humiliation, or an invitation to rediscover your purpose. A heartbreak can mean failure, or the clearing of space for a stronger, wiser self. The Stoics believed every obstacle carries two faces, one of pain and one of potential. The question is, which face will you look at? There's a story about Epictetus, the philosopher who was once a slave. He walked with a limp for most of his life because his master broke his leg in anger. Yet he never spoke with bitterness. He used that pain as a teacher. He used it to learn that no one can enslave the soul that chooses freedom. You and I, we might not be slaves in chains, but we're often prisoners of our own resistance. We fight life instead of working with it. We say, "Why me?" when the wiser question is, "What now?" You see, strength isn't built when everything goes smoothly. It's built in the friction, the scraped knees, the hard mornings, the quiet resilience that no one sees. Just like a muscle, your character grows through resistance. Every time life pushes against you, you have a choice: break or build. The Stoics trained their minds to see obstacles as materials, like wood, clay, or stone. You can curse them, or you can sculpt something beautiful out of them. So the next time you hit a wall, don't ask for it to disappear. Ask for the strength to climb it. Ask what lesson it came to teach you. Because sometimes, the very thing that blocks your path is your path. In the next part, we'll explore the heart of Stoic strength, acceptance. Not the kind that makes you passive, but the kind that frees you. Because once you stop fighting reality, life stops feeling like a battle and starts becoming a conversation. Acceptance. It's a word people misunderstand. They think it means giving up, lowering your standards, or letting life walk all over you. But that's not Stoic acceptance. That's resignation. Acceptance, in the Stoic sense, is strength without struggle. It's looking at life exactly as it is and choosing not to waste your energy wishing it were different. Seneca once wrote, "Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling." He wasn't talking about destiny in some mystical way. He meant that when you resist reality, you suffer twice. Once from what happens, and once from your refusal to accept it. I remember a man I met during a lecture in Boston, a retired engineer named Paul. He'd just been diagnosed with Parkinson's. He said, "I used to run marathons. Now I can barely tie my shoes. How do I accept that?" I told him something I learned from years of watching people endure the unendurable. You don't have to like it. You just have to stop fighting it. That's where peace begins. Not in pretending everything's fine, but in no longer letting what's unfair steal your presence. The Stoics believed that every situation comes with two parts, what's in your control and what's not. They trained themselves to act wisely on the first and release the second. Try it for one day. Whenever something frustrates you, quietly ask, "Is this within my control?" If the answer is yes, act. If the answer is no, let it go. It sounds simple, but it takes courage to live this way. Most people carry unnecessary suffering because they try to rewrite the past or predict the future. They cling to what's already slipping through their fingers. But acceptance isn't about giving up. It's about freeing your hands to build something new. Paul eventually found new routines. He started painting. Slowly, shakily at first. He told me once, "My hands don't obey me, but my spirit still does." That's Stoicism. That's acceptance turned into creation. When you stop demanding that life be easy, you start noticing how strong you've become. When you stop wishing people were different, you start seeing what's already good in them. When you stop arguing with time, you start living the moment you're in. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Welcome whatever comes, woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could fit your needs better?" It's a radical thought, to see life not as an enemy, but as a tailor, cutting every piece to fit your growth. And once you reach that place of acceptance, something magical happens. Peace stops being something you chase. It becomes something you carry. In the next part, we'll explore how to stay calm amid chaos, how to hold your inner stillness when everything around you falls apart. Because acceptance opens the door to peace, but calmness is what lets you walk through it. Picture this. You're sitting in traffic, horns blaring, deadlines looming, or maybe you're not in traffic at all. You're just caught in the noise of life. A family argument, a sudden health scare, an unexpected bill. The kind of chaos that makes your chest tighten and your mind spin. In those moments, calm can feel impossible. But that's exactly when the Stoic practice becomes real. See, calm isn't the absence of storms. It's the ability to stay steady inside one. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire under constant crisis, plague, betrayal, war, and yet, his writings sound like they were written by a monk, not a general. Why? Because he trained his mind to be still when the world wasn't. He wrote, Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging sea falls still around it. That's Stoic calm, not soft, not timid, but unshakable. A friend of mine once said, "Peace is not found in quiet places. It's created inside noisy ones." He was a firefighter, the kind of man who ran toward danger. He told me he learned to slow his breathing every time the siren wailed. "Because if I lose calm, everyone loses safety," he said. That's how it is in life too. When you stay calm, you're not just protecting yourself, you're steadying the world around you. Now, calm doesn't mean you don't feel fear, anger, or sadness. It means you don't become them. You let emotions move through you without letting them drive your actions. Epictetus taught his students to picture themselves as actors in a play written by the universe. You can't choose the role, he said, but you can play it with excellence. Calm comes when you stop wishing for a different script. Here's a small exercise I often share. When life feels overwhelming, pause and ask yourself, is this chaos inside me or around me? That question alone separates the noise from your nature. Because most of the time, the storm isn't outside. It's in our reaction to it. I remember one of my patients, a nurse during the pandemic. She told me, some nights I'd come home and just sit in silence for 20 minutes. That was my prayer. That silence, that deliberate pause, is a form of Stoic meditation. It reclaims the space the world tries to take from you. If you think about it, calm is contagious. Walk into a room where one person is grounded and the energy changes. It's like they anchor everyone else just by being still. That's your power too. You don't have to match the chaos around you. You can be the one who slows the air. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." And I'd add, he who is calm is powerful. So when life roars, don't roar back. When others panic, breathe slower. When you're attacked, don't react. Observe. That's how calm becomes not just a momentary refuge, but a way of living. Because calm isn't about escape, it's about mastery. In the next part, we'll explore the final step of Stoic strength, turning pain into purpose. Because once you've learned to stay calm in chaos, life invites you to do something deeper, to transform what once broke you into something that builds others. There's a quiet moment after pain. Not the first wave, the shock, the disbelief, the tears, but the silence that comes later. The part where you sit with what's happened and whisper, "Now what?" That moment is sacred, because that's where transformation begins. The Stoics never promised a painless life. They promised a meaningful one. And meaning often hides inside suffering, waiting to be discovered. Marcus Aurelius buried several of his children. Seneca lost his only son. Epictetus was born a slave, beaten so severely his leg was permanently crippled. And yet all three spoke of gratitude, strength, and peace. They didn't glorify pain. They simply refused to let it go to waste. There's a woman I once worked with named Linda. She'd lost her daughter to an accident years before we met. For a long time, she said she felt like half a person. Then one day, she began volunteering with a group for grieving parents. Later, she started leading the meetings herself. I asked her once, "How do you stand hearing so many stories of loss?" She said, "Because now my pain feeds my purpose." That's Stoicism, lived. Not theory, not quotes, just a human being who decided that her suffering wouldn't be the end of her story. You see, pain is raw material. You can drown in it, or build with it. It can make you bitter, or make you wise. The difference lies in how you use it. Epictetus said, "Don't seek for events to happen as you wish, but wish for events to happen as they do, and your life will go smoothly." He wasn't saying to enjoy tragedy. He was saying, use what happens to grow the part of you that can't be destroyed. Think of pain as fire. It burns, yes, but it also forges. Gold is purified through heat. Character is shaped through adversity. When you turn pain into purpose, you reclaim power. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become an architect of meaning. I know a man, retired military, who once told me, "I've lost friends I'll never forget, but every time I help a young vet get back on his feet, I feel them standing beside me." That's what pain transformed looks like. Presence, not paralysis. So if you're carrying something heavy, grief, regret, anger, don't rush to get rid of it. Ask what it came to teach you. Ask who you can help because of it. That's where the Stoic path leads. Not away from pain, but through it, into contribution. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything thrown into it." Your pain can become that fire. Let it burn away what's unnecessary. Let it light the way for someone else. My friend, life will keep testing you. It's not personal, it's training. Every hardship, every loss, every disappointment, it's shaping your soul's endurance. So don't curse the weight. Learn to lift it. And when you grow strong enough, help someone else carry theirs. That's how everyday struggles turn into strength. That's how Stoicism stops being philosophy and becomes life itself. If this message spoke to you, share it. Someone out there might need to hear it tonight. And if you'd like to keep walking this path with me, subscribe so we can keep growing in wisdom together. Now, I'll leave you with one question. What pain in your life are you ready to turn into purpose?